Welcome to a brand new part of the course, Part 7 Time Series. So we're going to get into some time series data like in a data frame. But before we get there, we are going to review the date time, time delta, and period objects, as well as learn some new functionality and how to create them with some functions in pandas and the built-in constructors. So we will get to the time series actual data in the next chapter. But this chapter, we will focus in on the objects themselves, date time, time delta, and period objects. So this should all be a review. A date time is a specific moment in time, has components year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and part of a second. A time delta is an amount of time. It has a components day, hour, minute, second, and part of a second. It is independent of any specific moment of time. Like 5 days, 3 hours, and 16 minutes. A period is a specific span of time. So there's a start and end time to a period. It could be like the entire month of December 2002. So from December 1st, 2002 at midnight all the way to 1 nanosecond before the new year. And I have this section date versus date time. This is generic date time terminology that you'll see across different programming languages. So it's important to know that date corresponds to the year, month, and day portion. Time corresponds to the hour, minute, second, and part of second. And then date time is everything together. Now there is a date time module in the standard library. It's a good module, but pandas just adds a whole lot more functionality. So we're just going to stick only in pandas here. NumPy also has date time, as we've seen before, but we're just going to deal with pandas in this section of the course. There are some terms time versus time delta. These are very closely related terms. They are essentially the same. A time delta essentially it just allows for a day component as well as the time components. All right, so I'm going to teach you how to create single date time objects in this video. We've seen that before using a series. I'm now going to introduce two things right here. One is a function, the toDateTime function. The other is this timestamp constructor. So they produce the exact same objects in slightly different ways. And I'm going to begin here with toDateTime, and then in a future video we'll see the pd.timestamp constructor. All right, so let's look at pd.toDateTime. So this is a function. It is not a method attached to a data frame or a series. And this is how you can create single date times. You press Shift Tab, you'll see that it says convert argument to date time. All right, so there are many different, as you can see here, there's all sorts of things you can do here there's so many different ways to write dates, date times, and so many different parameters you can do to basically tell pandas how to interpret the date time that is passed to it. So one way is just to give it, I'll just show one particular way. So give it a month. So say May 3rd of the year 2005. So this will create a date time. And pandas, the official name is actually a timestamp object. So if I save this to some variable called dt and then I verify its type, I'm going to see that it is a timestamp object. So this is confusing. It's confusing to me. It would have been nice if they just named their type date time, but they named it timestamp. So there is possibility for confusion. Even the name of the function says toDateTime. You get back a timestamp object. So you might be wondering what is going on. Why is a timestamp object returned? Well, this is just how pandas was created. It's a little unfortunate, in my opinion, that it didn't call it a date time. But timestamp is another generic term for something that has, both a year, month, day, along with a time component. So you'll just have to understand that when you're working in pandas, whenever you see timestamp and date time, it is referring to the exact same thing. But the official name of the object, the official name of the type of this object is timestamp. All right, so we're going to see a lot more on how to use this toDateTime function and this pd.timestamp constructor in the upcoming videos. You can actually create multiple date times in a single like sequence using a list over here or passing in a series. So this 2-date time is very flexible. Timestamp is not quite as flexible. It's mostly used for creating a single timestamp object. All right, so that's a little introduction and review, and we're gonna again focus on both of these in the upcoming videos.